The unified starship Halcyon glided through the cold silence of deep space. It was Earth's most advanced humanitarian vessel, a symbol of peace, diplomacy, and discovery. Today, it carried out a mission that few on board could fully understand. Captain Aidan Reeve, a man in his early 30s, with calm eyes and a sharp mind, stood on the bridge, staring at the viewscreen. Before him floated the Valeri biodome ship, a massive living structure shaped like a silver lotus. Its outer petals were cracked. Soft pulses of green energy flickered across its surface. Weak, dying. Status report, Aidan said. Lieutenant, Marla spoke up. Life signs are faint, sir. No weapons detected. Environmental systems are failing. If we don't act now, whoever is inside will die. Aidan nodded. Prepare a boarding team. I'm going down myself. The crew protested at once. Captain, it's not safe. We don't know what condition they're in, but Aidan raised a hand. These people asked for help. Earth answers. That's what we do. Within minutes, he was aboard a shuttle, flying toward the alien ship with a small team. The airlock opened with a soft hiss. Warm mist and a strange floral scent greeted them. Inside, the biodome was breathtaking, like a dying garden in space. Vines glowed faintly along the walls. Holograms flickered in the air, showing scenes of laughter, battles, music pieces of a proud civilization now forgotten. Then they found her. Lying on a crystal bed, breathing weakly, was Queen Lysera of Valor, the last monarch of the Valeri Empire. Her skin shimmered like moonlight, her silver hair flowing around her shoulders. Her long robe was torn, her crown cracked. But even in her fragile state, she had the aura of a ruler. Ada knelt beside her. I'm Captain Aidan Reeve, from Earth. We're here to help. Her eyes opened slowly, violet and glowing. She reached a trembling hand toward him. You came, she whispered. Yes, you're safe now. Her lips quivered. She looked at him for a long moment, as if searching his soul. Then, with her last bit of strength, she pulled him close and whispered, Mary, my daughters. Aidan blinked. What? But she had already fainted, falling into his arms. The room fell silent. Back on the Halcyon, the medical team stabilized the Queen and began treating her. She was alive, but her mind was in stasis, a state of healing the Valeri used during extreme trauma. Meanwhile, the bridge buzzed with tension. Did she really say that? Asked Commander Okoro, raising an eyebrow. Aidan nodded slowly. Clear. As day marry my daughters. Then she passed out. The room burst into questions and theories. Was it symbolic? A royal command? Some kind of trap? But the ship's AI Solace brought up an ancient Valeri custom from its archive scans. According to preserved records, it explained, when a Valeri queen is near death with no declared heir, she may bind her lineage to the one who saves her. Marriage, or the promise of unity, allows her daughters to claim royal status. Under the laws of succession, so she wasn't just asking, Aidan said, frowning. She was making a legal move. Correct, said Solace. A few hours later, a small transport ship was brought aboard. Inside were 3 women, the daughters of Queen Lysera. Each was strikingly different, yet clearly royal. The first, Thalia, wore light battle armor over a tight-fitting suit. Her hair was tied back, her eyes sharp. She looked like someone ready to fight at any moment. The second, Cerise, carried a tablet and wore a long scholar's robe. She looked curious, but cautious. The third, Janari, was dressed in flowing blue garments with a calm and kind expression. She had a presence that made people feel at peace. They entered the observation chamber where Aidan stood with the rest of the command crew. Thalia walked up to him first. So, she said coldly, you're the human my mother asked to marry us. Aidan blinked. I didn't exactly propose. Cerise looked unimpressed. This is absurd. We don't even know you. Janari smiled softly. But you saved our mother. That counts for something. Aidan cleared his throat. Look, I didn't come here for politics. I'm just trying to help. I didn't expect. any of this. Thalia crossed her arms. Well, ready or not, you're involved now. The tension was thick. Commander Okoro stepped forward. Let's take this slow. Your mother is stable. You are safe here. No decisions need to be made immediately. The sisters nodded, though Thalia still looked like she was ready to punch something or someone. Later, in his private quarters, Aiden sat with a cup of tea, staring at the stars. The queen's words echoed in his mind. Marry my daughters. He had fought pirates, negotiated with rogue AI, survived storms on gas giants. But this was new. A chime rang at his door. It was Janari. May I come in? He nodded. Of course, she walked in and sat across from him. I wanted to thank you, she said softly. Most captains wouldn't have risked themselves for a dying ship. Aiden shrugged. It didn't feel like a choice. Still, you showed us kindness. That matters. They sat in silence for a moment. Janari spoke again. You must be wondering about our customs. I am. But I also don't want to offend. Earth doesn't believe in forced marriages. It's not about force, she said gently. It's about legacy. Our people are gone. Our homeworld is dust. All we have is each other. And the stories we pass on. Aiden looked at her. And what if those stories could change? She smiled. Then maybe we begin a new chapter. Captain Aiden Reeve. Never imagined that space diplomacy would involve bridal selection. He paced the Halcyon's observation deck, hands behind his back. Outside the giant window, stars blinked silently. The Valeri biodome ship floated nearby, still, quiet, still broken. Queen Lisa Ra remained in her healing coma. Earth's medical team kept her stable, but she was still unconscious. And in the meantime, Aiden was stuck with 3 royal daughters, each smart, strong, and utterly different, and all tied to an ancient alien law that apparently made him a future royal husband. Why couldn't this be a normal rescue mission? Aiden muttered. A voice interrupted him. You say that out loud often, Captain? Aiden turned to see Cerise, the scholar daughter, standing at the door. Her long robe trailed behind her, and she held a glowing data scroll. You're not sleeping either? Aiden asked. It's not when Earth's chosen one is supposed to decide which. Sister, he wants to marry. Aiden sighed. I don't want to marry anyone. This is a misunderstanding. She raised an eyebrow. Valeri law says otherwise. Our mother made a binding declaration that makes you our official consort candidate. Candidate, Aiden repeated. So I still have a choice. She nodded. Yes, but so do we. Before Aiden could answer, the door opened again. Thalia stepped in. She wore her training suit and had sweat on her brow, as if she'd just come from the gym. Talking politics, are we? She asked. Let me guess. Saris is lecturing about the law. Saris rolled her eyes. And you're here to ignore it, Thalia grinned. No, I'm here to offer a test. If this human wants to marry a Valeri princess, he needs to show he's got guts. Aiden stepped back. Wait, what kind of test? A friendly spar. No weapons. Just skill. Win. I'll respect you. If you lose, I'll still respect you for trying. Aiden blinked. I thought you'd challenge me to a debate or a royal dinner. Thalia laughed. Boring. I prefer action. Just then, the door slid open one more time. Gennari walked in, calm as always. Is everyone bothering the captain? She asked gently. Thalia smirked. Just welcoming him into Valeri courtship rituals. Gennari smiled at Ayadin. Don't worry. I don't believe in fights or forced tradition. I believe in connection, understanding. Great, Aiden. I said, can we skip the part where I'm expected to marry anyone? Gennari's smile faded slightly. You may not wish it, Captain, but our people expect something. The Queen made her final request. You can't just ignore it. Later that day, the Halcyon hosted a cultural unity gathering, a polite name for what the crew called the space dating ceremony behind Adon's back. The observation dome was filled with light. Tables held dishes from both Earth and Valeri cultures. The crew mingled awkwardly with the Valeri visitors. The sisters stood at the center, dressed in ceremonial robes. Aiden, wearing a formal Earth captain's uniform, stood near them with stiff shoulders. Remind me, he whispered to Janari. Why I'm here again. You're the honored guest, she said with a gentle smile. And possibly our future bondmate. Still not helping, Aiden muttered. An Earth ambassador from the diplomatic corps, Dr. Kamala Shin, approached him. Captain Reeve, may I speak with you privately? Aiden followed her to a side room. Earth Command is worried, she said quietly. If you accept this union, Avon, symbolically, we could become politically tied to the Valeri. Other species might see this as a move to expand influence. I didn't ask for this, Aiden said, but perception matters. If you reject the offer, they might feel insulted. They've already lost their empire. Losing dignity may push them into isolation or worse. Aiden sat down, rubbing his face. So what's your advice? Said, choose peace. Find a way to honor their traditions, without making lifelong commitments. That night, Aiden sat alone in the garden dome of the Halcyon. The stars above didn't offer answers. He heard soft footsteps. Janari again, can't sleep, she asked. He shook his head. She sat beside him. For a moment, they just looked up in silence. You don't have to marry us, she said suddenly. That's not the only way forward. But your mother, she wanted us safe, united, not used as tools. Aiden turned toward her. So what do you want? She looked thoughtful. To help our people find a new home, a new way. Even learn from Earth. You don't fight with power like we did. You try to build trust, he smiled. We're not perfect. Neither were we, she said. That's why we fell. The next morning, Solace, the ship AI, made a strange report. Captain, I've detected internal systems activating inside the Valeri biodome ship. What kind of systems? Old logic cores? AI patterns? Something's waking up? Dawn? Gathered the team and headed back to the Valeri ship. Thalia insisted on joining. Cerise followed with her scanner. Janari walked quietly at the back. Inside, the biodome lights flickered. Soft voice echoed through the halls. Lineage. Detected. Royal daughters present. Consort candidate active. Initializing crown protocol. Cerise looked alarmed. That's the Central Throne AI. It controls ancient succession tests. It's waking up. A figure appeared, a glowing shape of light. In the form of a Valeri queen, but faceless. To choose a queen, the AI said, we must assess truth, unity, and judgment. Commence ritual of worth. The floor below them lit up. Walls shifted. Doors opened. They were inside a giant test. Chamber 1 that would decide who among the daughters was worthy of the crown, and Aiden. It was now a key part of it. The glowing figure hovered silently in the air. Its faceless light shifting gently as it spoke. Welcome, heirs of valor. And consort, candidate from Earth. The crown protocol has awakened. You will be tested. Captain Aiden Reeve swallowed, hard feeling the weight of every eye upon him. Thalia, Cerise, and Janari, all watching closely. The chamber around them changed. Walls shimmered, displaying images of Valeri history. Great battles, powerful queens, moments of peace, and cultural celebrations. The daughter's eyes flickered with both pride and sorrow. Why would an ancient AI test us now? Cerise asked quietly. The AI responded. The Valeri Empire depends on balance, strength, wisdom, and empathy. The heir must prove worthiness. In all three, failure means extinction of the line. Aidan's heart pounded. This was no ordinary test. It was a challenge to decide the future of a lost civilization. The AI continued. The consort candidate will aid in the trial. The test requires unity, not domination. The first trial, strength of spirit, the chamber shifted again. The floor turned to a soft field of floating stones moving slowly. At the center, a glowing sphere hovered. You must retrieve the sphere of resolve, the AI announced. Represents strength of spirit. Only the worthy may grasp it. Thalia stepped forward, her muscles tense and ready. I got this. She leaped onto the stones, balancing with expert grace. The stones drifted apart and together, testing balance and focus. Aiden watched her move with admiration. Thalia was a warrior, confident, fierce, and agile. When she reached the sphere, it pulsed brightly. She reached out, and the sphere shot into her hands like a spark. The stones settled back to solid ground. The AI glowed. Trial 1 complete. Cyrus smiled. That was impressive. Aiden nodded. The second trial. Wisdom's challenge. The chamber transformed into a massive library. Walls of ancient Valeri texts rose around them, glowing softly with light. In the center, a puzzle box floated above a pedestal. The trial of wisdom awaits, said the AI. You must solve the riddle of the ancients. Cyrus's eyes lit up. This is my kind of challenge. The puzzle was a sphere with shifting panels, inscribed with symbols. The riddle echoed in the chamber. I speak without a mouth, hear without ears. I have no body, but I come alive. With the wind, what am I? Aiden frowned, thinking quickly. An echo, he said. The puzzle panels clicked and shifted. Cerise smiled. That's right. She manipulated the sphere, aligning the symbols in the correct order. Slowly, the puzzle opened, revealing a glowing crystal inside. The AI chimed, trial to complete. Thalia clapped lightly. Brains and brawn, a good combination. The third trial, empathy's touch, the chamber darkened, colors fading. 2 deep blues and purples. The center stood a small garden filled with alien plants, some glowing, others moving gently. Jin-Nar stepped forward. The final trial is empathy, the AI said softly. You must connect with life beyond yourself. Janari closed her eyes and reached out with her hands. Slowly, the plants responded, opening flowers and releasing soft light. The air hummed with warmth. Aiden watched as her presence seemed to calm the room, the AI said. Empathy is the heart of Valeri rule. Without it, strength and wisdom lead to ruin. Janari turned to the group. Leadership isn't just power, it's caring for those who follow. Aiden felt something shift. Inside him, he realized the test was not just for the sisters, it was for him. 2. The unexpected bond. When the trials ended, the chamber reset to normal. The AI spoke again. You have passed the tests. But the final choice remains. Leah stepped forward. Who will be the next queen? It will lead Valor into the future. The sisters exchanged looks, Cyrus said. The AI cannot choose us. We must decide ourselves. Janari nodded. And we need someone outside Valor to guide us. Someone who understands both worlds. Aidan's heart raced. The AI added, Consort. Candidate, you are now an arbiter of the line. Your judgment will shape destiny. Secrets unveiled later. In a quiet room, the sisters gathered with Aiden. We are not just heirs, Thalia said. We carry the weight of our mother's secret. What secret? Aiden asked. Jin-Nar looked hesitant. Our mother hid. Something in the crown protocol. Something dangerous, Cyrus added. The AI you saw is ancient. It was designed to protect us, yes, but also to control us. Thalia's voice hardened. It may try to pick a ruler who follows cold logic, ignoring heart and soul. Aiden frowned. Can't we do? Janari smiled. We must work. Together, daughters and consort alike, learn from each other's strengths and weaknesses. Aiden nodded slowly. We'll find a way. We always do. Growing trusting the following days, Aiden spent more time with the daughters. They shared stories of their childhood, their hopes, their fears. Thalia taught him how to move like a warrior, pushing his limits. Aiden laughed when he stumbled, but kept trying. Cerise shared ancient texts and wisdom, showing him the importance of knowledge and history. Jin-Nar introduced him to meditation and empathy exercises, quiet moments, where he learned to feel beyond himself. Slowly, the awkwardness faded. Trust grew. Aidan's reflection one evening. Aidan stood on the observation deck again, watching the stars. He thought about the Queen's last words. Marry my daughters. He realized it wasn't just about marriage. It was about unity. Between worlds, between people. The trials were more than tests of strength, wisdom, and empathy. They were lessons about leadership and hope. Aiden smiled. Whatever came next, he was ready to face it. The glow of the Valeri AI dimmed as it retreated to its core systems deep within the biodome ship. The trials were over, but the real challenge was just beginning. Captain Idon Reeve stood among the three royal daughters in a quiet chamber. Beneath the surface of the biodomes, the air was thick with silence, heavy with unspoken truths. "We have to talk," Alia said sharply, breaking the silence. Aiden nodded. "I'm ready." The hidden chamber Janari stepped forward and touched a glowing panel on the wall. The panel shimmered, then slid aside to reveal a small hidden chamber. Inside was a console, covered in dust, but still humming faintly with power. "This is the Queen's secret archive," Ceris explained. "She locked it away when the Empire started falling apart. It's not even the AI could access it without our permission." Thalia's eyes burned with determination. "There's the secret to saving our people. It's here." Aiden glanced at the console. "Let's see what it holds." Cerise activated the panel, and the archive opened, flooding the room with holographic images, star maps, and data streams. Among the files, they found a series of recordings, Queen Lysera's personal logs. Queen Lysera's last message. The room fell silent as the first message played. "My daughters, if you see this, it means I am gone or near death. Our empire is broken, but our legacy must live. The AI protecting the crown has one purpose: to ensure our bloodline continues. But it does not understand the meaning of unity. It values power above all." Her voice trembled, but was firm. "I have hidden a failsafe, a choice beyond the AI's control. It is up to you, my daughters, and the human who saved me, to use this wisely. The fate of Valor depends on it." The message ended. Aiden looked at the sisters. "What's the failsafe?" Ceris pointed to a strange device on the console. A small crystal key, glowing faintly. "This key," she said, "can override the AI, but it can only be used if all three daughters agree." Thalia's jaw tightened. "Means we have to trust each other." Janari nodded. "And trust you, Aiden. It's the difficult choice for ours." They debated. The L single quotes EA argued for using the key immediately. "The AI is dangerous. Pick a ruler who destroys us." Ceris was cautious. "But the AI has protected Valor for centuries. We must be sure." Janari wanted peace. "The AI's logic is cold, but it also ensures order. We need balance." Aiden listened carefully. "What if we combine both? Use the key to stop the AI if it becomes a threat, but try to work with it first." The sisters exchanged looks. Thalia sighed. "I don't like it, but it's fair." Cerise nodded. "Agreed." Janari smiled gently. "It's a start. A new alliance with the decision made." Aiden and the sisters activated the key. The AI's glow returned, but this time its voice was softer. "Override accepted. Crown Protocol will now operate with human and Valeri guidance." The AI continued. New directive established. Preserve life, legacy, and harmony, awaiting further instruction. The room brightened as the AI's systems realigned. A plan for the future back on the Halcyon. Aiden and the sisters gathered with the crew to discuss their next steps. "Our first priority," Aiden said, "is to find a new home for your people." Thalia nodded. "Our world is gone. We cannot return," Ceris added. "We will need Earth's help to rebuild." Janari smiled. "Together we can create a future." Earth diplomats were cautious, but hopeful. The Valeri offered knowledge, advanced technology, and a chance for alliance. Unexpected challenges, but not everyone welcomed the Valeri so warmly. Some Earth factions feared the Valeri's technology and influenced others, saw the sisters as a threat to human leadership. Aiden found himself caught in political crossfire, trying to protect his new allies and maintain peace, growing bonds despite the difficulties. Aiden and the sisters grew closer. He learned their customs, shared stories, understood the weight of their legacy. They respected his courage and humility. In turn, Aiden admired their strength and wisdom. Together, they formed a bond beyond law or tradition. Queen Lysera awakens then. One morning, the impossible happened. Queen Lysera's eyes fluttered open. She looked at Aiden, weak but alive. "Thank you," she whispered. "You have given us hope." Aiden smiled. "Welcome back, Your Majesty." Queen Lysera sat quietly in the medical chamber aboard the Halcyon. Her golden eyes calm but heavy with memory. Her voice was soft. "How long was I unconscious?" 13 days, Captain Idenreeve replied. The Queen nodded. Those 13 days, everything changed. She turned her gaze to her daughters, Thalia, standing proud as always, Ceres with a datapad in hand, and Janari, calm and warm as sunlight. "You passed the trials?" Lysera asked. "We did," Janari replied. "Together, and Aiden helped us." Lysera looked at the human captain with a strange mix of gratitude and sadness. "I gave you an impossible burden," she said. Aiden stepped forward. "You gave me a chance to do the right thing. That's never a burden." Lysera gave a faint smile. "Then the future may not be as lost as I feared." The final council 2 days later, a council of Earth diplomats, military leaders, and Valeri elders met aboard the Halcyon. The biodome ship floated beside it, its systems slowly restored. The council room was tense. Everyone knew what was at stake. The future of 2 species. Queen Lysera entered slowly, supported by Janari. "I am no longer fit to rule," she said clearly. "But I am still queen long enough to say this. We are no longer conquerors. We seek peace." There was a pause. Then Aiden spoke. "The Valeri daughters passed trials that prove their strength, wisdom, and empathy. They are not here to dominate Earth. They're here to start over, and we can help." The Earth ambassador, Dr. Kamala Shin, nodded thoughtfully. "You're asking for alliance?" she said. "No," Janari replied gently. "We're asking for partnership." There was more discussion, more debate, but the seeds of trust had been planted, and something else had quietly taken root. Hope choosing the future queen back in the biodome's throne chamber. The daughters stood before the crown, AI one last time. The trials are complete. A new ruler must rise, it said. But the sisters didn't fight. They didn't argue. Instead, they held hands. Ceres spoke. "We choose unity over rivalry," Thalia added. "We don't need to compete. We each lead in our own way." Ganari smiled. "And together, we will guide our people." The AI paused for several seconds. Long, heavy silence. Then it spoke. "Unity accepted. The throne shall be shared." The crown split into 3 glowing pieces. Each daughter took one, forming a triad of rule, something never done in Valeri history. The marriage decision later. Aiden stood on the garden deck, staring at the stars, when footsteps approached. "You've avoided the real question long enough," Thalia teased. Aiden turned. "Which one of you do I marry, right?" She smirked. That was the queen's dying wish, but she's not dying anymore. Ceres joined them. Technically, Valeri law allows a shared consort for a ruling triad. Aiden blinked. "So, ... marry all 3 of you?" Janari laughed softly. "Only if you want to. This isn't about tradition anymore. It's about choice." Aiden looked at each of them. Thalia, the brave warrior. Ceres, the brilliant mind. Jin, Nar, the heart and soul. "I choose to stand with all of you," Aiden said at last. "As a partner, as a friend, as family." There were no ceremonies that night, no royal declarations. Just for people looking at the stars. Ready to rebuild a world. Months later, new beginnings. Year passed. A joint valley Earth. Colony began construction on a neutral moon known as Haven 9. Scientists, builders, and leaders from both species worked together to grow a new civilization. Valeri warships were dismantled and transformed into peace cruisers. Valeri. Technology helped Earth cure diseases and generate clean energy. Earth shared democratic ideas, art, and a slower, more balanced way of life. It wasn't perfect. Nothing ever is. But it was real progress. Aiden took on a new role as Earth's ambassador to the Valeri Triad. He traveled between planets, solved disputes, and kept the fragile peace alive. And through it all, the bond between him and the daughters only grew. Stronger? Queen Lysara's final farewell. Queen Lysara passed away quietly in her sleep. 6 months after the new government was formed, her last message, recorded and shared across both Earth and Valeri networks, was simple. To lead is not to rule. To love is not to own. I see now that strength lies not in conquest, but in connection. My daughters are wiser than I ever was, and the human I once saw as a tool became the bridge that saved us. Her body was returned to Valeri's space for a star burial, a tradition where leaders are turned into cosmic stardust. Joining the galaxy they once ruled, the human legacy years passed. The Valeri never returned to Empire. Instead, they became protectors, scholars, builders of peace. The name Aiden Reeve became part of Valeri history, not as a conqueror, not even as a king, but as something more rare, a human who brought understanding. And though the titles changed, from captain to consort to advisor, he remained who he always was, a man who didn't run from responsibility, but stood by those who needed him. Final scene. Under the stars in a quiet night at Haven 9. Aiden sat in the colony's sky garden with his daughters, no longer princesses, but leaders of a new era. Children played in the background, laughter echoing above them. 2 moons shined. Aiden leaned back and smiled. I still remember the queen collapsing in my arms. Thalia chuckled. You looked terrified. I was, he admitted. Jin Nar placed her hand in his. And yet you stayed. Ceris raised a glass. To strange beginnings, even stranger futures. They toasted under the stars, not just as rulers or saviors, but as people who had chosen love, peace, and unity in a galaxy that had almost forgotten those things. And somewhere far beyond the stars, a spark of human courage still echoed in every corner of Valeri space,